Islam, peace and love. I'm Brother R. Bey, all rights reserved. Happy
Yay,
Holy
yay.
Happy Holy Venus degree. On this March 3rd, 2023, 333, right?
Yes.
So today, of course, this is impromptu improv. So we're just kind of like freestyling. And we got a couple things lined up. We're gonna talk about a few things. We're probably gonna start off etymology after the invocation, of course. Probably gonna start off with the etymology of the word flat, and or get into some other things after that. So yeah. Oh, how did I forget? I'm with my magnificent bros. If you guys didn't notice, he is.
Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco in northwest of Mexham. How are you? Let's get this going, man. And happy Holy Venus degree to all of you beloved Muslims worldwide. Because you guys have been moored to your mother's womb before manifesting. So you're an electrical system of muscles, bones, tissues, and limbs. So I'm just honoring your form, all right, and how you got here. So honors to all mothers and sons globally and intergalactically, bro. I'm sharing this out to the jurisprudence gem right now, to the Telegram.
Shout out to our friends.
Say that again.
Shout out to our friends-in-law.
Oh yeah, definitely. Shout out to our friends-in-law. Yeah, definitely, man. Seriously.
Oh, this is
awesome.
Oh, this is how long you've been an agent, part 3 too. I forgot. Yeah. Man. How long have you been a public agent? I've been talking to a lot of public agents or people, or actually I should say one USC one persons that
insane persons.
Yeah, they think they're public agents. They want to. What I'm realizing, like, it's a lot of pushback with that non-citizen national stuff. So it's like everyone that had an issue with the truth, their issue with it was with that non-citizen national stuff. So I'm like, who's really pushing that? We got that Brother False guy. I think he's one of the main guys pushing that non-citizen national stuff. I'm not gonna lie. I think I heard some of your Moorish cartoon guys bring up non-citizen national stuff before too. However, I would say go to the United States codes and look at definitions of non-citizen national, U.S. citizen, individual, United States business. Go look up all these definitions. You're gonna see. At the end of the day, it's always the same thing. Doing business as a public agent, that's essentially what it is. Doing public business, right? Or doing public agent business. So, yeah. Man, that's so crazy. People be like, mind your business. And they just think everything is business. So it's very interesting that people want to debate something that they could go look up themselves and then not have to debate. Like, you ain't got to debate.
I think people debate because they lack the study. Like, when you are well studied in something, you don't have to even raise your voice or lose your temper. You just go straight to the record. You know, like my brother Musa says, documentation beats conversation every time.
Yeah.
Every time, man. Documentation beats conversation, man. So I yield to you, bro.
Yeah, that's like, and I'm glad you said that actually, because that's one of my favorite lines. Yo, think about it when when they come with the propaganda, the avalanche of lies, right? They get defeated by the documentation. Like, yo, I can sit here and have a conversation with you. You might get upset, you might raise your voice, you might get defensive, you might want to hang up. However, I'm gonna come respectfully, and I'm gonna come with facts that I can support with sufficient evidence. So at the end of the day, they don't really want to have them type of conversations. They will project that you're wrong, but then privately they will do things that affirm, in my mind at least, that I'm right. not just that I'm right, only in my mind I'm right, but it lets me know, because it might not be in your mind because you might not realize it, but I'm realizing that I'm seeing that they know I'm winning. They know I won. They know that I'm right. And yeah, so I mean, I don't know how long are you guys gonna just act like public agents. That's just the question I have, because at the end of the day, the people's worries and issues that they have, or that they think they have, and that's another thing we were talking about too, right? Like how
Mhm.
people get mad at one thing, but then they're not mad at it in a different way, like, or
Correct.
they'll have one stance on something, right? And that's the stance, their excuse for having that stance. They won't apply it in a different situation. So for example, you tell someone, hey, you should try to eat, a little healthier or whatever, you know what I mean? Because check it out, they're doing this and this to the food or whatever, you're obviously not growing your own shit and whatever. So you should probably try to, oh, I'm gonna die anyways, is the response most people will give you. And then, but when you say, hey, you need to exercise your rights, you need to speak up and stand up for your liberties, they're like, no, hell no, they might kill me if I do that. And it's like, I thought you were gonna die anyways. You know what I mean? Like,
That's fucking hilarious, actually.
uh,
Wow.
yeah. So
And
see this?
man, I'm just sending out, man,
Go
and
ahead.
sharing real quick to a few people. Let me get this out to Facebook too, man, so people can get in here, right? Um, let me grab this caption and link, share it on out to Facebook. All right. And let's get it. All right. Put this here.
Pardon me, yeah, bro. So it's like, what's going on? Like,
Yeah, that's a really good question. What's going on? What are we doing this year?
yeah,
You know
because
what I
I
mean?
know I was thinking like a lot of people in their minds, they were thinking like, all right, let's just comply with this fuck shit and then it'll go away. And then the fuck shit didn't really go away, because people think just because uh they're not being their rights are not being infringed upon at the doorstep of every place of public accommodation. However, there's still a lot of fuck shit going on, you know what I mean? Like, to the point where, you got people sharing, you know, um, you know, crazy stuff. It's like, let's not focus on that. Let's focus on comprehending what's going on so that one can realize where they're at. Like, if you're in the kitchen, but you don't know you're in the kitchen, like, and you're over here trying to use the restroom in the kitchen, like, you got to know where you're at. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't be in the trenches taking a nap, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Basically. Yeah, it's sad to see. Because I think a lot of people, especially after, I get it. People got to go through their exorcism and baptism. However, once you declare and proclaim that you're Moorish American, you got to get out of wanting to cater to those people who subscribe to calling themselves choices out of the Crayola box.
the undesirable.
Black people, brown people, white people. You got to get out of that. And you got to get out of thinking that they're your people. You can't serve two masters. And some people's studies are not going to stick because they're still in that kumbaya mindset and trying to be down and still be relatable to the people because they don't want to lose touch with the people. Fuck all that. Be yourself.
The people
You
lost touch
know,
with themselves.
yeah, I mean, that's just really what it is. And I mean, the best thing that could have happened to me, besides all the other schools of thoughts that I've graduated through, finally declaring and proclaiming my nationality and taking birthright seriously, even though I started learning about nationality realistically in the third grade at a school near the Howard County Corporation, just west, if I'm thinking more northwest-ish, maybe southwest, actually, near from the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic. And Mrs. Abiyaka, who then became Miss Siddick, was very clear in teaching us about both Kenya and Switzerland. And it's funny, now that I'm Moorish American, I declare and proclaim my nationality when a Kenyan American, quote unquote, is the presiding officer, the praetor at Casablanca, termed the White House. And knowing how to deal with posts and sharing tax per Q videos pertaining to Switzerland, because that's where the Universal Postal Union is, quote unquote, located. So looking at back then, 8 years old, dealing with Switzerland and Kenya just off of projects and learning about nationality. Now, once I declare and proclaim my nationality, in some way, shape, or form, I'm interacting and coming into contact with, even through my studies, with Switzerland and Kenya all over again. And so I think of these different things, and I'm very thankful that I didn't. It's at times that I'm really glad that I didn't have a clique of homies growing up. I'm so glad that I was able to move stealthy in the sense where I thrived being nobody, since I was such a nobody back then. No matter what activities I was into, no matter what choirs I was into, no matter what singing groups I was into, performing, knowing these different celebrities and things of that nature, or whatever, being an R&B singer and producer, cool. I'm all these things. And by me not being recognized, so to speak, is probably one of the greatest things that happened then, because I was able to have a lot of the bullshit miss me, because I was really just focused on whatever craft I wanted to be really good at, whether it was helping to design clothing, staying on top of fashion for my different groups that I was a part of, as far as like the singing groups, as well as the clothing company Trendsetters, which is why you have all this trendsetter stuff post 2000, actually. Like a lot of that trendsetter stuff didn't kick off till the clothing company that I and a few guys that went to Baltimore City College High School actually had, right? Class of 02, right? And then it inspired a lot of people to start putting, like, because once I started seeing like people were taking our ideas from high school and like being able to want to sell it, DJs started calling themselves trendsetters. People started making trendsetter magazines. People were starting to take like the material we were putting on our Air Force Ones and our Timberlands. People started doing that. And it was like, if that's the case, then obviously I'm an energy that no matter what I do, eventually people are going to want to mimic or admire. And even in the mimic or the imitation, you know, it's like, it's all good, because that means that, you know, we're somebody that, even though we're not seen, we're definitely fucking heard and felt, because we actually influence culture so much. So I said that to say, man, I'm very thankful that Prophet Noble Drew found me. And I have like an awesome set of brothers that I get to enjoy this experience with. And we don't have to keep up with the Joneses. We don't have to try to keep seeming like we're down with the Black people and all that stuff. I that's the corniest shit ever. You know what I mean? Because I get it. The Black minds and what they're interested in is very easy to get finance from them when you cater to them. My integrity is so intact, though, that when I know that I would just basically be milking zombies, I'm not gonna sleep so well at night, because I don't know, like, damn, these motherfuckers don't know. So, why am I? You know what I mean, bro? So it's like, why even do that to them if you know they don't fucking know? You know what I'm saying? Just be like, look, man, when you're really ready to do whatever, cool, let me know. Because we're not hand holders. You know, we're not ass kissers and, hey, oh, come on and do. No, we're not doing that. And the Black mindset is very infantile. It's very needy. It's very hold my hand. It's very I'm grown, don't talk about me like that, while at the same time I throw an immature temper tantrum about what you just said. Like it's a very sad state, mind state. It really is. And so that's why I'm just speaking to what you're saying, bro. Like some people have declared or proclaimed their nationality and they're still trying to figure out or wonder what people think that are idiots. Why do you want to know the thoughts of idiots? I don't have a plan to, oh, well, let's come down to their level. I'm good. I'm not a zombie teacher. Me and my bros are in full life. And that's the only people we speak to, those that actually have the potential to recognize full life. And it's interesting too, because there are a lot of Albion sons and daughters that can respect Moorish science way more than a lot of unconscious Moors who would rather fight about their beliefs in contradistinction to what they think is our beliefs. And Moors don't deal with beliefs at all. Sincere Moors don't deal with beliefs or discharging debt and doing better commerce. Sincere Moors don't do that. If you're an L or a Bay, or you want to be a Day or something, and you're not a fucking astrologer, or you're an Al and you're not really good at the science, and you just thinking you're picking titles because they're cool and you think you want to be different from somebody else, you're still being nigger-minded with your birthrights. And you're still being a monkey mind. Because you're not really meeting yourself and doing what it is that you need to do to be the best that you can be for yourself. I yield the floor, bro. I mean, I trust I didn't go off on too much of a tangent pontificating about on my soapbox there just now. So I yield and step down from that, bro, so you can continue.
Islam, nah, bro. I think that was excellent. People need to hear that. People need to know that. People need to feel that. People need to comprehend that they can only play those undesirable games for so long before they start getting hurt.
Yeah.
And then
yeah, it's not a good look. Go ahead. I yield.
It's definitely not. It is kind of sad sometimes, but then it's also not, because like even when you're in that mindset, like I was in that mindset. You know what I mean? Like even when I was in that mindset, when I got a wind of some truth, I switched up my thinking. You know what I mean? Like, but these people get a hold of the truth and remain the same.
How long did you stay in the mindset of, oh man, everybody learns at a different pace, man, and I just got to take my time to learn?
Yeah, I don't know if I ever said that, but
exactly.
I know I got injured due to my incompetence. So I've been injured due to incompetence. So I know, I speak experience. Like, man, that's why we be saying like, yeah, just stay on our rebate for like, 18 months. Just read everything on there. Read the whole website and look up every single word that you see on there in the etymology dictionary and the law dictionary if there's a legal definition. And it's not even so much about like, oh, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's more about, it's like the more you study, you're growing. It's like exercise, and that's what people don't get. You may not fully comprehend the document when you're reading it. It's a legal document. You're not used to all the terms. I think people give up because they feel like it's too much work, but stop. Matter of fact, go to a document and say, okay, today we're just going to read one paragraph, but you make sure you look up the etymology of every word you never seen when you read that paragraph, because what it's going to do is going to unlock something within yourself. Because when you're studying, when you're given a piece of information that you didn't have before, you're allowed to like go around and look at something like, you see something like this, right? But until you come over here and see it like this, then you have like that one guy said on that video, you have a golf ball understanding of a thing. You know what I mean? So the more you know, the more you can do, the more decisions you can make. If you look at a gap in land with water, a stream through it, right? And you're like, how can I cross over this water without injuring myself? It's a fast current, and there could be whatever wild things in there. One being might say fuck it and swim through. One being might say I'm building a bridge because he knows the laws of physics and engineering. So it's like the one that didn't know about building a bridge, he would have probably got that comprehension had he took the time to sit down and study. You know what I'm saying? Or even go within himself to be creative, to come up with a way to he might have came up with the bridge from within himself and be the one that wrote the book on how to build the bridge, because all that knowledge comes from self. It doesn't come from the book. Book came from self. So at the end of the day, I think if people could fine tune that natural compass within themselves, they'll be
Yeah.
all right. But it'll be but again, they need knowledge first, because one needs the knowledge of first that people are playing, people are playing war games around you. You know what I'm saying? To the
Right.
point where you might make a decision that's gonna put you in a situation that's worse than the situation you're in. You might make the decision to go eat that bullshit that's gonna fuck up your health in the long run because you are not aware, you don't know. So just having that knowledge that, oh yeah, that's not good for me, that's causing X, Y, and Z, so I'm gonna just steer clear of that. Just having that knowledge is saving your life.
Yeah. Absolutely, absolutely. I wanted to add too, bro. Shout out, you guys showed up and showed out. We didn't even do the invocation yet. Appreciate you guys. We're about to go in. This one's going to be brief though, but I'm thinking we're going to really hit some really strong points. Those of you from our jurisprudence gym, lawful living friends in law community, you guys showed out last night. Those of you that showed up, shout out to all you guys. Mother Malika, Trading Brigade, Eliyahu, Sophia, Slim Herban showed up. Maya B, Mother Samaya, Steve showed up. At least that's the account that he's using. What he said, Steve. I think someone named Ray showed up. Right. Trying to think who else. Like there's quite a few people, and just trying to go off the top of my memory photographically saying. Michael says Islam brothers. He also says happy holiday nobles. Indeed, happy holiday degree to you, Michael. Brother Dark Blash Bay says Islam everyone. Antonio Bay says Islam kindred. Tyro Bay says Islam brothers and sisters. Brother R, them lines you just spoke will get you a blessed cursing. He's laughing or whatever. Like I gotta remember what words they are, but that's actually funny, Tyro. Mother Janelle Blash L looks like she says peace in Islam, right? Brother Tyro says, but they public schools used to be really good at speaking about the Constitution. Even the schools' photos, backdrops has a representation of that narrative. To what we were speaking about earlier, Brother R. Slim says that was just. I'm guessing that's the 5 on the left, 2 on the right, of course. All right. Javon Muhammad says Islam. Tyro says it's a wake-up call, really, and be open-minded, right? Javon Muhammad says truth. Brother Derek Blash Face says I appreciate everything y'all said, and I'm doing just that, and I get it. Tyro says the feeling of having those chills when you learn the truth about something I don't know before is addictive, right? Yeah, indeed. Yeah, that's very true. So let's do this. I guess I'll do the screen share so we can do the invocation in, bro.
What's long?
Right. Brother R is going to start us off with the invocation, you all. And let me take it right there. All right. And of course, the invocation in is termed the Moorish American Prayer. This is from Administrative Functions, Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions. We received this book from rvbaypublications.com. I know, guys, you're like, oh no, what happened? Like, you guys can still go to the Wayback Machine and see as much as you can get from RV Bay Publications based off the Wayback Machine. However, 9 times out of 10, you want to get in contact with Mother Roz and order something, you can always reach out to her via email, rvbayorders@gmail.com. All right. So with that being said, we're here on pages 48 and 49 in the Moorish Holy Temple of Science administrative functions, right? And we're going to stand and face east, which is symbolic of facing east metaphysically, right? And we're going to stand like Prophet Noble Drew Ali there, at least with his feet at a 45, even though he's standing due guard in his Moorish Spez. We're going to have 5 on the left, so all 5 appendages on our left hand extended, just the index and middle extended on the right, while we're facing east. And we can repeat after Brother R. Muaba Bey. Islam.
Islam, repeat after me.
Islam.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
The Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
And justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Amen.
Amen. All right, let's get through these 2 letters that we read in every meeting. Then I'm going to go in on a few points. There's some things I'm just going to ask some questions to a specific group that thinks a certain way. And it's no offense. I just want to know if these things have been considered when I ask them. However, let's get to the first letter to be read in every meeting. All righty. Still the Moorish Holy Temple of Science Administrative Functions, right? Pages 84 and 85. On page 84, it says, the following is a letter written by Prophet Noble Drew Ali on the 18th day of January, 1928, Anno Domini. That's what A.D. stands for, Anno Domini. He commanded that it be read before every meeting. All right. Administrative functions. Moorish Science Temple of America, Home Office, 3603 Indiana Avenue. Noble Drew Ali, founder. Chicago, Illinois. That's Illinois State Republic because it's a capital I with 2 lowercase L's, which is different from if you were to see just a capital I, capital L. Capital I, capital L is the state of Illinois, whereas Illinois State Republic is capital I, 2 lowercase L's in a period. So even in that abbreviation, it's still invoking the
Republic.
You know what I mean? January 18th, 1929. To be proclaimed in every meeting. Dear Brother Islam, I'm glad to know I have few faithful Moors among you all, and I desire for them to know the truth and the divine truth. There is a host of jealousy, quote unquote, about me and the movement now by the same people of our side of the nation that claim it was only a joke and unreal. But now, since they have found out from the government officials of the nation of the earth that this is the only sole foundation that all Asiatics, right, all Asiatics must depend upon for their earthly salvation as American citizens. American citizens, which means you're a member of the continent, not some corporation occupying the continent. They are working every scheme that they can to disqualify me so they themselves may take charge of the situation. I have notified all these things to you long ago in the past. It is through the faithful Moors that contribute to the movement and uplifting funds. The ones that paid their divine respect to me and the movement will be remembered. That is why I'm calling upon all faithful Moors to increase their faithfulness to me, your prophet, and your divine Moorish movement. I need finance and I need it bad. Never before have I needed finance as badly as I do at present, that I may shove aside the discord that is facing the mothers, right? Because nations come from the wombs of women. It all comes through jealousy because of my, quote, fame and nobility, end quote, period. The nations of the world will not recognize the movement without me, the prophet, being the head. It has been proven by my work in which I have performed in the past, in the last few months, because I was at the governor's inauguration, Lewis Lincoln Emerson, to represent the Moorish divine and national movement, and I will be at the inauguration of President Hoover for the same cause. Noble Drew Ali. Second letter to be read in every meeting is from the Moorish literature, excerpts from the Moorish Guide newspaper, pages 12 and 13. Really on page 13, it's just on 12. I'm just pointing out again, Prophet Noble Drew Ali and his Moorish Sharifs Fez in his Abba, standing due guard. All righty. And what we're going to do is going to zoom in there. And Brother R. Muwaba Bey is going to read the second letter to be read in every meeting. I yield to you, Brother Islam.
Islam, bro. Divine warning by the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. Prophet warns all Muslim governors ordered to read proclamation at each meeting. Are they still reading this in each meeting still? Like, are temples? Well, I went to a temple once. They didn't read this.
Wow.
However, I hereby inform all members that they must end all radical agitating speeches while at work, in their homes, or on the streets. We are for peace and not destruction. Those are the right pieces. Do you think peace is like creative?
Wow. Wow.
That's like, you know what I'm talking, you know what I'm seeing here, like the creative and destructive forces that are in man.
Yeah. Peace allows you to be further constructive. I would definitely say that.
Yeah, it allows you to be creative, right? You can't, well, yeah. I mean,
yeah.
I guess still be creative under certain circumstances. However,
yeah, absolutely.
I digress. Stop flashing your cards at Europeans, especially if you got two shiny cards. You know what I mean? Like you got it causes confusion. Let's just say that. Remember, your card is for your salvation. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. Severe, that's the same word that they use when a limb gets taken off, like severed, like his limb was severed. That's severe consequence. And I think that severing is the severing of, well, I don't want to say it's like a full severing, but it's like a disconnection from the higher consciousness. That's the severing. Failure to obey these orders will be of severe consequence. We are love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. And when these principles, these universal principles, are violated, justice must then take its course. Man, that's bringing up that natural law thing, bro. Like, that's really on my mind. We're disconnecting ourselves by not being in harmony with nature's law, natural law. But any member or group of members who hold malicious feeling toward the temple or the prophet, or violate the divine covenant of the Moorish movement, will receive their reward from Allah for their unjust deeds. All true Moors will and must obey the law as laid down to them by their prophet. If they lose confidence in their prophet, they should turn in their card and button, cease wearing their turban and fez, and return to the state. Return to the state where I, the prophet, found you. This is a holy and divine movement founded by the prophet, Noble Drew Ali. And if the prophet, the thought of Allah manifested in flesh, is not right, then the temple is not right. That would be the body, which is animated by that thought of Allah manifested within it. The prophet, therefore, is sending out the divine plea to all Moorish Americans that they do their part in protecting their prophet and the temple. This is an everlasting movement founded by the Prophet through the will of Allah to redeem his people from their sinful ways. I order this is a actual order, not a void order that could be challenged at any time in any courtroom at any time. By Prophet Noble Drew Ali, Islam.
Islam, bro. Islam. So, guys, let's come back here real quick and stop the screen sharing. Let's just talk a bit, right? I have a few questions. How many of you guys are in the chat, right? And this is no attack, you know what I mean? Because some of our loved ones at Lawful Living subscribe to what I'm about to ask. So if you're here, you can put a 1 in the chat, but put a 1 in the chat if you subscribe to what they call. I gotta stop myself from laughing before I say, hold on. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh. Serious face, all right? Flat Earth theory. How many of you subscribe to Flat Earth theory? I'm curious. Put a 1 in the chat if ye subscribe to Flat Earth theory. Right? Because I have a couple of questions for you, right? I have quite a few questions, right? Because I'll wait to see. And no one, went from 21 to 20 that quick. Hey, that's a 1 out of the chat, obviously, instead of in the chat. Let me stop. When we had met with some loved ones last night, it was brought up, you know, some people are utilizing the whole 8 inches is a mile. And I guess people will try to possibly stand at a certain height, which is kind of contradictory. And I'll say why in a second. But it's basically every 8 inches is a mile. So basically every foot is a mile and a half. And for those of you that don't know, you know, how I see that, I'm looking at it like if I'm scaling 8 inches up to equal 5,280 feet, because a mile is 5,280 feet, or I'm looking to scale down 5,280 feet into 8 inches, then that means every foot is a mile and a half. And some people have subscribed to looking at the flat earth thing like, okay, you know, I should be able to see the curve of the earth based on this theory of something. And instead of me touching bases on the earth, the whole earth being curved, like, let's not even start there. Let's not go the whole earth being curved thing. One of our loved ones from the jurisprudence.
But that shit is like, glitching.
It's glitching. Why? Because I'm talking about this whole like. Oh, you talking about
it's me. I think it's me. It says my internet connection is unstable.
Oh wow, really? Okay.
But
you guys
you was.
Still
I don't
hear me clearly.
Ask anyone in the chat if you were glitching or if it was just me.
You guys, are you hearing me clearly? Are you seeing any glitching going on? Just let us know if you see glitching going on and or not, right?
It went digital water for a minute. I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, I went digital water. Wow. Did I go digital water to you guys? Is Slim saying my signal? It says went out. I'm gonna say went out in New Mexico. Is that what you're saying, bro? All right,
I'm nowhere near New Mexico, but wow. I was just because I seen that shit was digital water, bro. You was freezing up and the voice was digital water.
Javon says no, and Doug Base says clearly. So okay, so it was. I'm going to continue. No one put a 1 in the chat that did. They subscribe to flat Earth theory. I didn't say if I subscribe to it or not. I'm just I like critical thinking exercises that I put myself through at times, guys. So this is what I'm thinking here. Now, just hear me out, all right? And I intend to offend no one. One of our loved ones last night was like, yeah, man, I don't think there's a curvature of the earth. I was standing at the top of like a really, like at a mountain. And when he said that, and I thought about it, like, even when I woke up this morning and I said to myself, I'm like, if he's saying the earth has no curve, then how is he recognizing a mountain? Because isn't a mountain one of many types of curves on Earth's surface? Like, a flat earther could not subscribe to even recognizing or even speaking the word mountain, nor could you speak the word ocean, because flat would mean that there's no convex, which means protruding from the surface type of structure. You can't talk about a mountain, a hill. You probably can't even listen to Lauren Hill, because that would you would need to be listening to Lauren Flat.
Yo,
Do you know what I mean? I'm
right.
not, and I'm not being rude. I'm just thinking when people say they have their flat Earth theory, then like a flat earther couldn't scuba dive because
Yeah, you can tell they grew up playing Resident Evil, not Silent Hill.
Resident
Yo.
lived backwards, right?
Oh
So
man, and they call it Resident Evil, right?
resident, right? And so guys, like, look, I mean, just really think about it, right? Like, it's funny, somebody just said flat is flat. And so I was thinking, like, maybe we need to look up the etymology of flat. Maybe I don't know what flat is.
No,
Maybe
hey,
I don't.
no, they can't even front, especially because all these people are like, yo, these people will be out here talking about the type of women they like. Yeah, I like my woman curvy, you know what I'm saying? So you understand what curves on a woman is. But
No one
yeah,
says, damn, yo, shorty, flat as a motherfucker. No,
yeah,
nobody does that. No, nobody does that.
yeah.
Nobody, right?
Unless she flat.
Douchi.
Unless she's actually flat. Like that's
I mean, even no one's head is flat, right?
true.
Douchi 83 says, wouldn't a rainbow be straight if Earth was flat? Yo, what the fuck, yo?
Right.
Please, guys, stop making sense in the chat. Um, okay, you're obviously traveling, Slim. He said he just crossed the imaginary borders from New Mexico to Arizona.
Was the border flat? Or was it round?
Because I'm really thinking like, this is someone saying, and bro, you know, I'm not bragging on you. It really made me think. And the part that made me think when he was like, I was on top of a mountain, and I was just like, that totally
Don't you see that
nullifies
mountain?
your flat earth theory. Like,
Hey,
why
don't
are
you see that
recognizing
mountain?
them? Like, you don't see that mountain, like, bro, like,
Oh,
why are you? Yo, like, I had to think about that shit. I'm like, okay, a flat earther, like Javon said, flat is flat, right? Okay, so right, nobody's body is flat, right? At all,
yeah.
right? So okay, so
I think they need to abandon the flat form.
they need to abandon the flat form. So yeah, because a flat earther couldn't recognize, you know, oceans, lakes, or rivers, because they also make it known because they are concave. They're sitting into concave portions of Earth. So for someone to be like the Earth is flat means that they can't recognize mountains, oceans, lakes, rivers, waterfalls, cracks in the ground,
or even the horizon.
Yeah, I mean, you sent the video, right? And I was thinking, like, man, I didn't even look at it yet. And I'm thinking, like, should we just play that video that you shared then, bro? Like,
yeah, you can, but like the only thing is I was gonna say, people might say, well, it could be edited, it could be, it doesn't look like a fish lens. I know about a fish lens because I did a video where one of my bros had one on there. It's not a fish lens, but I mean, it's just a guy, he's a pilot, right, in a certain type of aircraft, right, or air conveyance, and you can see that the light the horizon takes the shape of that which it's putting light on. You know what I mean? It's like if the light is on you, you'll see like a little outline of the light on you. You know what I mean?
Correct.
From a certain angle, but you can see the horizon light all around, what appears to be, our land, the earth, and it's definitely curved, and I comprehend, the concept of even if you're looking at a circle and you zoom into it, right, it definitely will look flat if you zoom in far enough. So, being able to have that bird's eye view, maybe you should show that real quick.
Yeah, because I brought it up last night. I was like, like if anyone's ever worked on Photoshop and just let a circle sit up on Photoshop, like any curve actually, and zoom in on the edge of that curve, it gets flat. So I had told our beloved yesterday from our friends-in-law, lawful living jurisprudence gym community, I was like, I think you were still too close to Earth to observe the curve. And he was saying like, well, I learned in school that, every 8 inches is a mile. And I'm just thinking to myself like, okay, so you're scaling 8 inches up to 5,280 feet. Is that what you're saying? And I mean, Slim was there. Slim Herman was there for the whole fucking conversation. You know what I'm saying? So, bro, right? Peaceful greetings. Brother Solomon is in the chat, right? That's another brother who's on the copyright with. It's funny because you said abandon the flat form, right? And Brother Solomon's in the chat, right? That's amazing, right? But yeah, I, Brother R, Brother Corey, Brother Taj, and Brother Solomon are all on that copyright for the platform abandon not. And Slim said Earth is not flat. But you were there for the conversation, Slim. That's what I'm saying, right? And to be there for the conversation, I was just really like, I didn't say what I was saying because I was like, yeah, man, I'm ready to wrap up. However, I woke up with that shit on my mind because I really had to laugh to myself. I'm like, did he say he was on a mountain though? When he was like when you're a flat earther, you can't recognize height nor depth. So why you can't climb a mountain or scuba dive? Because those activities in itself nullify your flat earth speech, theory, thoughts. Your movement on those things rejects that thought.
They can't listen to Cypress Hill.
They can't listen to Cypress. Oh my God, yo. They can't say the word, they can't say the phrase around the world. They can't say that either.
Right. I travel world. Can't even say world because world sounds like curvature. Word sounds like it's curving. Doesn't it sound like world? That shit has curvature to it, doesn't it?
They can't say global warming.
Well, they're gonna have to say flat. They're gonna have to say flat warming. I couldn't even say it. Sheesh. Platform. The flat form. They're gonna start calling it the flat form.
But I mean, like, because there's no such thing as climbing. It would have to be crawling.
It wouldn't be climate no more. Climate change. What would it be?
It would be call it change. I don't know. I mean, guys, help me out. Am I looking at this wrong? There's no flat earthers out here. I mean, yeah, energy, I get it. Water does find its level. However, Brother Dirk Glash Bay says he was in the Navy and he's never seen flat water.
Yo, hey, no, you know what I just thought about too? Like the condensation at the top of the lid. Like you can't underestimate water because I know that's one of the concepts behind that flat earth stuff is that water originally a drop it's already circular. A drop has curvature to it. And
correct.
I know, people say, oh, well, they use the argument of the meniscus on the top of the glass. But that's besides the point, because water can fucking evaporate, be in the air, go into the fucking sky, create a fucking cloud, and rain back down. I'm gonna say what the fuck water could do. Well, water can't be in a circle. Well, I mean, sounds like that makes sense. Okay, yeah, it makes sense. If I pour this shit out, it's gonna fall out. But how come the cloud don't fall from the sky until it rains? So you can't really underestimate water to the point where they don't even really comprehend water right now. Still, the scientists today just barely found out that it has information. You know what I mean? So it's like, and that it holds information, and that you could treat water a certain way, and its molecular structure be different when you freeze it. So water does a lot of things, and you can basically treat the water different and make it healthier. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen all type of shit. Put the flour by the water, speak good affirmations into it. I mean, let the water sit in the sun. You could purify it and stuff. Put some cucumber, some lemon and stuff in it. Whatever. There's so much you could do with it. For one to say, well, water can't do this. You don't know what the fuck water can do.
Yeah, and then energy says spherical. You know where I'm about to go with this. Globe, I think is what's being questioned. No dog in that fight. Yeah, because then a flat earther couldn't say hemisphere. You're gonna be like, yeah, in the northern hemisphere, and you would have to look at that flat earther like, the northern what?
Do you mean the northern Lego? Some, I don't know what we call it. Even Legos have curvature. They got the little circle thing that you got to put it into.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like you call it a flatosphere, the northern.
Matter of fact, hold on. That means they can't believe.
Sphere.
That means they can't believe in
hemi-flat.
sacred. They can't believe in sacred geometry.
Wow.
Because isn't it a so-called Fibonacci sequence goes like this?
Yeah, man, and it's like, ugh.
And that's found in all things in nature.
Yeah, it's like you kind of can observe that pattern. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, I guess the people who want to believe that the earth is flat or subscribe to that, maybe they don't see mountains and deep oceans.
Oh, you know what I was also thinking, actually? They probably can't even use like the regular old clocks then either. Because them clocks are round and like and I know it sounds funny, but hold on. You know how they used to tell the time, used to put the object in the ground, and then I mean, that's how they even came up with that whole concept of that clock. So it's like, would that be out the window too? Would you have to abandon that platform too?
Yeah, like, I mean, what's the point of a sundial then? That's what you're saying. Like, people get that idea from observing the shadows of a form that is in the, like, the shadow is being casted by that, by the sun on that form. I.e., if you were to stick, like it was, like you said, a fucking stick in the ground or something. And so that's why, like I said, I really thought about that. Now, when I woke up this morning, I'm just on the phone, you know what I mean, doing my little texting. And I was like, you know what? Did he say he was on a mountain when he was observing the earth? How did he even say mountain? Like, you couldn't say sphere, globe, mountain, ocean, height, depth. That just couldn't be. It couldn't be.
And then what about the part of the earth that you can't see? Just like we have electromagnetic field. That's still us. Matter of fact, the earth is us too. So you can't say the earth is flat if we're not flat, because that is us.
Correct. That's why I said, I think people need to observe a circle in Photoshop and zoom in on the edge of the circle, and you'll realize that the more you zoom in on it, the flatter that edge looks because of how close your perspective is, So that's why I'm like, But let's see what you guys are saying.
Dang,
Slim was like, that's why he humbled himself. He's seen psychology tricks. Energy says terrain. Javon says it could tell your mind there is no top, that you're at the top in the darkness. I mean, at least if they was that far up, they would be able to see, I guess. As you're talking the physical eye, not the mind eye. Okay, got that, Javon. Energy says facts. She goes, Also, Brother Solomon says it can't make sense. Flat earther's sense is like a dog chasing its tail, which is still a circle pattern.
They can't even, flat earthers can't even have dogs anymore.
Wow. Like, you can't even play frisbee with your dog because the frisbee has a curve on the edges. Like, like, I'm just saying, like, it really, bro, I promise you, when I thought about the part where he was like, because I was at the top of a mountain observing, I was like, oh, what? I didn't even get, I did address, okay, so you're saying that every 8 inches on a ruler is a mile? Okay, cool. But
from what viewpoint is that logic being used? Like,
something obviously told in some school somewhere about, if you want to observe the curve of the earth, you should see, every 8 inches is a mile or some shit like that.
But so, from where? Like, how is every 8 inches a mile? From like a certain height up looking down, or what do you mean? Like, because 8 inches.
I mean, well, he was on top of a mountain, and that seems pretty curved, but he doesn't recognize that curve of the earth. So, or any other flat earther, and it's like, so what do you call them? So it's not the Appalachian Mountains, then it's obviously the Appalachian Flats.
Well, ask them are their feet flat?
Wow.
Are your feet, is the bottom of your feet flat? And if they say no, then that curve on their foot, they consider it that their foot is not flat just because it has that one curve in it or whatever. So if your foot is not flat, then the earth, there's no way the earth could be flat then, right?
Right. So wouldn't a curve also, like a curved letter, like would be like one that we know is consistently curved would be the letter O? Yeah. So what's at the end of their feet?
A heel? I mean, a toe? Yeah.
So what do they call the toe now? Like, I'm just looking at different things, bro, like you're saying. And it's like, that's really tough, man.
Is there anybody that believes that in the chat yet? Because I got a question.
Nah, man. No one's advocating. No one's advocating for flat Earth yet, man. Like, Energy says freaking rocks. Facts. Noble says slim. Javon says correct. Brother Solomon says facts. Energy says, I read somewhere, quote, to all 4 corners of the earth. Yeah, I mean, 101s. Yep, that's where it is. Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking corners. However, you can if you unfold a circle, it's a square. And so within a square, the shape of the square, its edges are 90 degrees. And then when you put a cross in the middle of the circle, that cross has 4 90s in it. So in squaring the circle, then we're obviously looking at the earth not as flat, but maybe it's some type of cube. Maybe it's some type of cubical yet have curviness cube type energy. All I'm saying is, even if it's 4 corners, those 4 corners are dealing with directions, north, south, east, and west. And that's why I said you kind of fold a square, or you can actually observe it by using, flat earthers couldn't use a compass then.
That's what I was gonna say. How come the compass is not square then? That's what I would think.
Like, why is there a compass and a square?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, like, let's just
really we ain't even bust out no literature yet. We're just
this is what I mean. This is what I mean, guys. I just put myself through like, I'm not even in like the mode where, you know, somebody go like hits blunt. A flat earther say he not observing the curve of the earth, but on a mountain. like you don't see where you stand right now. Like, I'm not making fun of you, bro. As much as I'm really just thinking to myself, like, did he really say he was standing on a mountain? That's a convex curve from the surface that is turned to be flat. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's really tough, bro. That's really, really fucking tough, bro. Because the more I thought about it, the more I was like, are flat earthers like, maybe we just shouldn't have that conversation with them, because flat earthers are intelligent in other conversations on other topics. It's just that when it comes to flat earth, it's almost like someone identifying, you know, as a dog. And it's like, but I can see your mom and dad and they're not canines, you know? So, but let's bring up correction to the 4. So you said maybe I should play that video, right?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, so let me cue that, and then I'm going to bring up very briefly, a United States code. And this is kind of one of the things I just want to talk on briefly. I mean, we went in last night. I should have recorded last night. I really should have, but I didn't clear out my Zoom cloud like I did today. But the one thing I'm going to bring up is what an employee is, right? And I think a lot of people are going to recognize what an employee is, and you can never be an employee either unless you're an officer of a corporation, some way, shape, or form. So let me go and find, bro, where you shared that really quickly. I'm just going to bring it up in the app, actually. As a matter of fact, open an app. There it is. Yes, Instagram, open my YouTube app, right? And oh, goodness gracious, let's get past this bra commercial, right? And let's just bring this back to the beginning. It's only 3 minutes and 42 seconds. That's a 9.
I don't see the screen share.
I'm already loving this energy. What you say, bro?
I don't see the screen share.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to go and cue the video first before I hit the screen share. So no, you're good, bro. All right, so let's go here to the YouTube, right? James May witness, or maybe not. No, I'm joking. James May witnesses curvature of Earth. James May on the Moon Earth Lab, right? Okay. Let's see. Let's see.
Look, actually, someone is saying right in the thing too. Somebody's saying fisheye lens shot through a curved window. Bruh, that window is irrelevant, and it's not a fisheye lens because the whole fucking thing would have been rounded. But
yeah, somebody said that. Well, I must have missed that.
I'm looking at it right there in the is that the title or whatever that is, the first comment?
Oh, I was looking in our chat. Forgive me. The first comment, they go, okay, let's see what they say in the comments. It looks pretty flat to me. What the fuck? I don't know where that is. Hold on, let me just move you up real quick. It looks pretty, man, 25,000 comments. Look, this is, what the fuck, man? It looks pretty flat to me, except for the fisheye lens shot through a curved window. Interesting.
Press play. Let's get our
press play. I'm curious.
Whoa! Stand by 1 there.
That's quite a climb. No kidding. That is incredible.
Synastry, contact approach 353.7.
I'm gonna show you for sure.
Where I've seen space in the old days.
That's correct. Here it comes.
Feet, there it is. If this were 1955, we'd be considered spacemen. Because at that height, the atmosphere would kill you as certainly as space would. You'd just boil, you'd be dead in seconds.
Just below us. You see on the left side below. See that airliner below us?
Yes, there it is. I think I've got it just briefly on the camera. Fantastic. So that is now almost as far below us as it normally would be above us if we were standing on the ground. 60,000 feet's just gone past, but we're now at an altitude where things like tears and salivas and other body fluids would boil pretty much instantly if you stepped outside. I can already see why instantly if you stepped outside.
Just at the top of the-
It's gonna show a lot more. It's gonna show it a lot more. So just let it play. You'll see. I saw that curve. You saw it.
I can already see why.
They're saying fisheye lens. How come
People
it's not
go into
curved right
space and
now?
then spend all their time
It's fisheye
blabbering on
lens.
about how wonderful Earth is because it just looks fabulous from up here.
Just shows it. Yeah, it's gonna show it clearly.
There it is. It's 70,000 feet.
70,000 feet.
This is madness. Is there anybody else up here? Presumably not.
Bro,
So I
that
think it's
does
fair to
look
say
like
the
a
only
curve,
people higher
bro.
than us at the moment
And
are
it's the
people in
and it's the
International
horizon
Space
that you can see
Station.
that's curving.
That's correct.
Yeah.
The light is showing the curve.
Major Cabegas and student spaceman May are the second highest people in the world. Yes! Oh man, I've got that curvature of the horizon thing. Look at that, that's perfect.
Yeah.
That just looks fantastic. Oh, it's lovely. Do you get bored of looking at that? Surely not.
Oh, I never do.
You know what? I got a
Oh,
fisheye
it's
lens
terrific.
right here. Let me grab it.
Now let's see if it works. Oh, yes! Gosh, made me feel slightly emotional.
Feel free.
Man in heaven. The sky looks just breathtaking. If indeed that is the sky, most of the sky is below us. I think that might be a view of eternity.
Technically speaking, you are correct.
Sorry, do tell me if I'm rabbiting on too much, but I've never done this before. This is a fantastic privilege being able to see this. I'm slightly lost for words. It's just staggering.
I think the term you're looking for is gobsmacked, aren't you?
Well, can I just say thank you for bringing me up here, Major?
Oh, you're absolutely welcome.
It's absolutely just almost impossible to articulate what it feels like. That is the real shape of the good earth. It's rather humbling.
Now, some people like, how you know it's not a green screen? How you know they're not in the studio? You know, I can just think of all of the devil's advocate things to say, right? Like, I can really think about that, right? Seriously. Happy Holy Degree Consuelo. It does just look curved, like, and that's why I said I think people are too close to Earth to observe the curve. Way too close. They just went 70,000 feet to get a glimpse of a curvature.
Right.
70,000 feet off of the supposedly flat Earth while they're above land and water. I wonder where that water's going. Why is there something called the depths of the ocean? Why is there a deep sea? If what the fuck is Mount Everest then? Like, really think about what I'm saying here, right? So I have these lenses, right? I don't know if you guys know, but there's some lenses that, let me stop the screen share, right? There's some lenses, right, that you can, let me stop the screen share. And maybe I'll just put it on my front facing camera since you're facing me. And then maybe I'll turn my camera around. I don't know. I just want you guys to be able to observe what it looks like. So I got these lenses a couple years ago that I can put on my iPhone or my iPad. Like, this is the 8x zoom one right here. It's like, you You can put it on the phone. It just comes with like a little clip or something, and I can observe like hundreds, if not 1,000 feet away from wherever I am, right? And the clip that it goes on is this, right? So you kind of screw it in right there, right? And it'll clip onto my phone or my iPad, right? Just to have a lens, like a type of camera lens if I want, right? So, so let me get my fisheye lens before I go into Title 26, United States Code 3401, right? And this is the macro lens. Oh, no, macro, and this is the wide. So this is my wide lens, right? So I will open this up, put it over, like, I'll show you how the wide lens works first. Let's just show you, right? So let's say I put the wide lens over my camera. Oh, shit. Okay, got to go down. Boom. You see how you guys can see a little further past me now? You can see a little bit more of my background. Like literally, I'm just going to pull this off and see how much closer it is, because just how this lens makes things look wider, right? It's a wide lens, right? So boom. Wide lens makes you see the corner that is behind me on my right side, right? You can even see the corner of the wall behind me on the left, right? Okay, cool. So that's the wide lens that's actually screwed into the macro lens, right? So let me cap that. However, let me grab this. This is the fisheye lens, right? So let me actually unscrew this one. Oh, snap. Will it let me do it? Well, I have to take the whole thing off. No. Okay, boom. It let me take the macro off. All right, so I took the macro off, and you guys can see that it says macro right there, right? That's macro, right? And the wide lens fits inside of that. So let's screw on this fisheye, right? And show you guys that it's actually labeled, right? It's a Vivitar. And it tells you, maybe I should turn this light out so you guys can see it. It says fish eye lens. So like I said, I have a fish eye lens. It does 180 degrees. It's telling you right there, it does 180 degrees, right? So let's see what a fish eye lens effect looks like. Like it looks like a fucking 90s video. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think that's what I was observing. Exactly. Do you know what I mean? Even though, you know, there's people in the chat like, oh, well, but you're seeing 180 degrees now. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's what, you know.
And that doesn't make the top of the door look curved. Top of the door still looks straight. What does look curved is it looks like up and down lines. Like the corner looks, the up and down of the corner looks like it's curved.
Yeah, like
but
here.
not a top, not a vertical line.
Nah, man.
Unless you're probably closer to the top.
I don't know. Let me bring this down a little. No, it's still not doing it.
Oh, it is.
It looks like
a little bit
at the top.
Yeah,
just a little, but even that. I mean, the map behind me still looks like it's straight. Like, the map's over there, bro.
Yeah,
like,
it does.
Are you fucking kidding me? Are you fucking serious? Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. I'm even looking on like my other monitors here. It's like, I don't know, man. It doesn't look like nah, man. I don't think that was a fisheye lens, bro. Like, not at all. Like, I can't subscribe to that. That's kind of tough, man. Like, seriously. So just wanted to kind of put to rest that whole, you know, and I mean, like I said, I don't mind people. Hey, subscribe to Flat Earth Theory. Do what you got to do. Just don't say hemisphere or sphere or globe or global, you know, because you're now looking hypocritical. Don't say mountain or deep sea diving. Don't go mountain climbing, rock climbing, deep sea diving, like, because that negates your flat earthness.
Don't eat popcorn. Joking.
Like, I mean, the Earth doesn't even produce flat things really without it being curved first. You know what I mean? So it's like, hey guys, like we're not ragging on you, we're not hating on you guys, right? I'm just saying, you might want to reconsider your flat Earth theory, because there are a lot of things that deny your flat Earth theory before someone outside of yourself saying there's no such thing as flat Earth theory. Like, I gotta remember, like March 2nd, that was yesterday, right? Thursday, March 2nd, 2023, a flat earther told me he was observing that the Earth doesn't have any curvature while he was standing on top of a mountain. So you are standing on top of something that is some curved, convexed, some convex curved formation that is actually a part of some. Okay, all right. I was born last night. Cool.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what I'm talking about. I was born last night. What do you guys think in the chat? Let's see. It just looks curved. Right. It does just look curved. It doesn't look like, so even if somebody's like, oh, well, that's a fisheye lens, like, you guys are fucking photographers trying to show off your photography knowledge. Like, cool, great, good for you, right? Like, however, like, let's be honest with ourselves, right? You all right, Buppy? You good? He's such a puppy. All right, so let's do something real quick, and then we're gonna watch some other class, right? This is where I'm going right now, right? This is where I'm going to go with this. I should be screen sharing actually. Let me just hit the screen share screen and start broadcast. Right. So let me go here, and I'm just going to type in the fact that I have a boatload of United States codes windows already open. Right. And what I'm looking for is 26. Do you guys know that 26 United States code is the Internal Revenue Code? Basically, that's where you see the IRS. Now, I'm looking for 3401, right? Which is in subtitle C of Title 26, right? Employment taxes. Boom. And I think it's 3401. Collection of income tax at source it says on wages. Interesting, right? 3401 is definitions. And I don't know if you guys have paid attention, or those of you that come to the jurisprudence gym, have you recognized that you can really, end a lot of people's way of trying to hold you to court situations, law situations, like, when you really read these codes and see that all municipal, which is county and city, and all state level must give effect to the federal. Mm-hmm. So since that's the case, right, I want to go into the definitions. And first thing I'm seeing is wages. I thought that was freaking interesting. Like, oh, wages, look at that, right? They got like payroll period, right? Qualified stock for which an election is in effect under section 83I. Like, I see that, right? Is that 83I? Did I misread that? 83, is that L? It might be 83L, right? So either way, let me scroll now back to the top, because even though it starts out with wages, this is what kind of, among other things, right? Shout out to Malika and Trading Brigade, right? They brought up quite a few things, and I was like, just looking at this, looking at that, looking at this, looking at that. Wages, though. Let me do that first. So when I read wages, it says, for purposes of subsection A, the term wages, quote unquote, includes tips received by an employee. So it made me think, like, what the fuck is an employee then?
Yeah, because
In the
why is an
court-
employee tipping someone that's working?
That's where I was at. I'm thinking, like, man, I wish you could have heard that conversation last night. So it's like tips from an employee in the course of his employment. That's why I was like, yeah, okay.
Wow.
Wages includes for me means only, includes, it encloses only this. So tips received by an employee in the course of his employment. Such wages shall be deemed to be paid at the time a written statement including such tips is furnished to the employer. Pursuant to 6053A, or if no statement including such tips is so furnished at the time received. I'm like, hold on. So tips is something received by an employee that they furnish to the employer. So
what is
people
tips?
Say that again.
What are tips then?
It's obviously wages. but no, I get what you're saying though. Right?
Yeah.
So then I'm thinking, like, okay, what's an employee? Wages. For purposes of this chapter, the term wages means all remuneration other than fees paid to a public official for services performed by an employee for his employer, including the cash value of all remuneration, including benefits paid in any medium other than cash, except that such term shall not include remuneration paid. And then it goes into other ones, right? You see, for agricultural labor. That's why I was speaking to Malika last night. Said and her and Trader Gate was like, yeah, because what people get is labor. Like that can't be taxed. Your labor can't be taxed because your labor is your right. So they will do their best to tax wages.
But again, they're not even supposed to be taxing the wages because when they do tax it, they're calling it an income tax.
That is technically true. So that's why I said, let's look. Okay, so what's an employee, right? So boom, that's why I looked it up, right? Like, what the frick is an employee? Right? Thanks, babe. Check the chat, bro.
Jesus
And
Christ.
you check the chat.
I'm about to.
So, employee, you want to read employee, bro?
Yeah, bro. I just read it to myself and was baffled. Nah.
Yeah, that's why I was like, most people that exchange their time, I don't even want to say for compensation. They exchange their time for labor. That's what it is.
And again, it's going back to performing functions of public office clearly.
Yes.
And it's like when these politicians get on the TV or wherever they're at and they say, you know, we raise the employment rate up to, the highest that it's ever been. What are they actually saying? They're saying that they have, the most franchised U.S. businesses or, state businesses that they've had in that time, which would still be United States business, right? Because the United States citizen is United States business. And a business can be a United States citizen because it can be naturalized, right? It can be clothed with the rights of a citizen. So employee says, for purposes of this chapter, the term employee, quote unquote, includes an officer. Employee. How are you going to say an employee includes an employee?
Well, I know,
they're
right?
saying of the United States.
Yes, there you go.
Okay,
Yes.
gotcha.
Yes.
Because at first I'm like, yo, the term employee, quote unquote, includes an officer, employee, or elected official of the United States, a state, or any political subdivision thereof, or the District of, or the Bank of Columbia, right? Or any agency or instrumentality. Damn, so that means that cash register is an employee of any one or more of the foregoing. They said an instrumentality is an employee. So like if you break the forklift, you injured an employee. No, but yeah, that's how.
Or you're an employee of that instrumentality.
Jesus Christ. The term
Of any
employee,
one or
quote
more of the
unquote.
foregoing. But go ahead.
The term employee, quote unquote, also includes an officer of a corporation. And
So
10 times out of 10, that corporation is organizing the laws of the state.
So an officer, for me, an officer of a corporation is someone who's a part of the board.
Right. Or someone who is a servant of someone of the board, because an employee, if you look at the law dictionary, will say that it's a servant.
Correct. So it includes, which means only an officer, only an employee of the United States or a state or any political subdivision. So it includes an officer or an officer of the United States, a state, any political division.
And look,
political subdivision.
This definition shows the distinguishment between an officer and an employee, because we keep telling people that police are not officers, because an officer is someone who is elected to an office or appointed to an office. The police don't hold an office. They're actually deputized employees. Like, it's so crazy. The way I see it, I think the sheriff's supposed to have their deputies are supposed to be appointed. You see what I'm saying? Like, not hired as an employee doing business. If a police is doing his job, he's just doing a job. He's not really performing functions of public office, but he is, because of the fact that he's being controlled by those. But he's an employee. It's distinguished from an officer, and they're showing you the distinction here.
Yeah, like it's like
when they really say tough. Includes an officer, employee, or elected official is an officer, but employee's not.
Bro, and now it makes me think anybody that's punching the clock for just a certain amount of time, it's just a labor time standard, and they're looking to get a labor rate. That labor rate times the labor time standard.
Indeed.
So that they can receive, like I said, it's not even compensation at this point. And is it even really remuneration? Like, it's non-statutory remuneration, right? What's employer?
Employer, for purposes of this chapter, the term employer means the person for whom an individual performs or performed any service of whatever nature as the employee of such person, except that.
That's about it. I mean, it says its sources here. So where's D? Okay, employer, right?
Except that if the person for whom the individual performs or performed the services does not have control of the payment of the wages, Jesus Christ. For such service, the term employer, except for purposes of subsection A, means the person having control of the payment of such wages. So hold on. Hold it on. Bro, how the fuck, if it's not payment? If they're not using gold and silver coin, it's not payment. So who's really getting paid wages? How do you get paid a wage if the wage does not go to silver coin?
That's why it's like, you want to play a game? What game? It's called federal, state, or municipal agents. And in
It's
this
called
game,
it's called business in the state game.
it's called performing functions of public office.
It's called No More Silent Hill, No More Cypress Hill. You must abandon the platform.
Basically, like, hold up, man. Yo. All right. So, and just looking at that, it's like, like, what am I actually seeing here? Now I'm wondering, did he say, okay, that's what bro had brought up too, right? Trading Brigade had brought this up, and he and Malika were going over this. And it made me just look at a few things, because this is, definition. So what are we looking at? Federal Acquisition Regulation System, Chapter 1, Federal Acquisition Regulations, Subchapter E, General Contracting Requirements, Part 31, Contract Costs, Principles, and Procedures. 3101 definitions, right? And I think what we read was, Jesus, first look at compensation. Because then I started thinking to myself, what is personal services?
Compensation for personal services means all remuneration paid currently or accrued in whatever form, and whether paid immediately or deferred, for services rendered by employees to the contractor.
All right. Then what else did we look up yesterday too? It was like, oh, here we go. Job. Bro, when you read this, go and read it. Go and read it. Just read it.
Job means a homogeneous cluster of work tasks, the completion of which serves an enduring purpose for the organization. Taken as a whole, the collection of tasks, duties, and responsibilities constitutes the assignment for one or more individuals whose work is of the same nature and is performed at the same skill/responsibility level, as opposed to a position which is a collection of tasks assigned to a specific individual. Within a job, there may be pay categories which are dependent on the degree of supervision required by the employee while performing assigned tasks, which are performed by all persons with the same job. Job class of employees means employees performing in positions within the same job.
And it said position is a collection of tasks assigned to a specific individual, whereas the cluster of work
One or
tasks,
more individuals too.
Yeah. So it's like, so so when you look at job, a homogeneous cluster of work. So when people will be like, I'm on the job, they're saying they're on a homogeneous cluster of work tasks. You know what I mean?
And what they're doing only serves an enduring purpose for the organization.
Not themselves.
Yes.
Serves an enduring purpose for the organization. Taken as a whole, the collection of tasks, now we're adding more things to the task, duties and responsibilities, constitutes the assignment. So an assignment is different from a position.
And then they'd be like, do you own any debts to the United States? That's why like some of the questions they ask when you come into one of their forums, they try to say, are you employed in the state?
Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ.
How far did you go in school? Because they know those are all public schools. So if you went to school, they're gonna presume, oh yeah. So you grew up a ward of the state, and now you do business in the state, and we have the right to regulate your business, and therefore you're subject to us. Even the fuck shit that we talk about. And that's the sad part, is that if people did want to be a part of the corporation or whatever, they shouldn't have to lose rights and be mistreated to do so. However, it comes hand in hand with denouncing your nationality or disavowing your nationality to be a part of a corporation, especially when the way that the corporation operates, it's like they took the civilization principles and reversed them. You know what I mean? Like things that the ancient ones created to assist humanity, having things being all peachy here, Earth. They take those things and then they make them into a stupid version. Like if we had a car that worked on magnetism, why the hell are you have land conveyances now that are running on gasoline? Like that's stupid. Why do we have? There's so many things that are fucking stupid that they act like you're civilized, and it reminds me of that a palace that we were looking at that didn't have any restrooms. See what I'm saying? It didn't have any so-called bathrooms or whatever, right? Because these people must have been at a frequency, and I've seen things where they say, the houses were built in a certain way so that it brings energy to the house, so that one could be in fasting and just receiving that energy, stay in their house, and they get fed basically by the prana, right? The energy, that subtle but powerful force energy that sustains us all, because it is not the food that you're putting in your mouth that is keeping you alive. It is not. That's actually the thing that's harming you. The food is what's harming.
Yeah, go ahead. I'm listening. Go ahead. How you?
Yeah, the food is what's harming you, people. Why would there be a palace with 300 water fountains but no restrooms? They had an elaborate water system. It's not like they didn't know how to make toilets. Oh, it was ancient. They didn't know how to build toilets. They were shitting by the tree. No, they weren't shitting. Fuck did they need to eat for? Why did people think that that's a necessary? Well, they had to drink water. But didn't we just talk about how water can do all type of shit, and you are water? If you're 70% water, what do you need more water for? See what I'm saying? Even though we have been through, I don't know how many years. I haven't figured it out, but for how many years have humans been eating now? You know what I'm saying? How long was man not eating before they started eating? Was eating just a thing that they did to, like you said, bro, to get high or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because what I'm seeing is even plants have harmful some type of mechanism. They don't want to really get eaten. You know what I'm saying? Like they want to thrive as a plant. So at the end of the day, it is the lighter substance. It is the higher water content choice for us to consume, which, yes, that's what we should be on. But eventually, I know I could go a whole day without eating. So if I could go one day, I could go two. If I go two, I could go a week. If I could go a week, I could go a month. At the end of the day, we can sustain ourselves just based off the earth. We are the earth. Nothing in nature is really stressed. I mean, I guess you see some animals stressing, like when they want to eat, but those are the beasts. Those are like you know what I mean? Like the cheetah hasn't caught something in a couple days. He's getting anxious. He's gonna kill something. He might fuck around and snatch a human. He got to eat, but that's lower self. That's like carnal. That's a carnal way of thinking. You know what I mean?
Islam, and I just wanted to point this out, bro. I want to point out the distinctions real quick, so we know what an assignment is. Because even the assignment isn't performed by the employee.
The collection of tasks, duties, and responsibilities constitutes the assignment for one or more individuals. whose work is of the same nature and is
One or
performed
more United States citizens, which is United States business, because that's what individual is.
or an alien owing permanent allegiance.
Correct. Right? Now, this is a position.
Position, as opposed to a position which is a collection of tasks assigned to a specific individual.
So it's, go ahead.
So a position is a collection of work tasks assigned to a specific U.S. citizen or alien who's been admitted for lawful permanent residency.
Yeah, so it seems like the whole collection of tasks would be like, all right, so let's call the whole collection of tasks, duties, and responsibilities the assignment. What's the assignment? Build this house. Okay, cool. Now, who's going to be the framers? The framer is a position. So that one position has a collection of tasks assigned to a specific framer that's assisting in the collection of tasks, duties, and responsibilities, which constitutes the assignment.
Building the house.
So who's going to do the plumbing? The plumber. So he has the position pertaining to a collection of tasks dealing with water way conduiting, right? So we're conduiting the water, right? The electrician has to conduit the wires, right? So framer is a position, plumber is a position, electrician is a position. Who does the drywall? Those drywallers, that's a position. Who's on the floors? The floor people, that's a position. And all of them being individuals, right? They're probably sole proprietor companies or LLCs that this is framers LLC, plumbers LLC, electrician LLC,
Right.
you know what I mean? Drywall LLC, floor installers LLC. And those 5 different LLCs in particular, we're not even including the bricklaying LLC because it's a brick house, right?
The cement that laid the foundation before anything.
Okay, let's include them also. The cement.
Oh, well, no, before
LLC.
anything would probably be the plumbing because it would go under the cement, but then the cement right on top to lay that foundation.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say all 7 of these people, including, adding additively the cement and the bricklayers. So you have these 7 individuals or 7 U.S. citizens.
The United States businesses.
Right, the United States businesses that are now taking on each of their position to assist in completing a collective assignment. However, there's someone who's supervising this assignment. I wonder who that is.
Supervision required by the employee.
Which means the people completing the tasks aren't the employees.
Depending on the degree of supervision required by the.
So even though, let's take the cement people, right? Whoever is the journeyman or the master who has his contract, you know what I mean? Using his license or whatever, he is directing his crew. So maybe he would be the employee, right? Or really the employee is the cement LLC. Because the employee,
I was gonna say, and then the rest of the people working for that would be individuals, would be like citizens, or yeah, there would be individuals working for the employee, working for the employer.
Exactly. So it's like now when we're really looking at this, and people are talking about they're an employee, like, so you're an officer of a corporation. Right? It's going to make even more sense when you go and read labor costs, labor market. Watch. How you?
Labor costs as standard means a pre-established measure of the labor element of cost. pre-established measure of the labor element of cost, computed by multiplying labor rate standard by labor time standard. Labor market, oh, pardon me. Labor rate standard. Labor rate standard means the pre-established measure expressed in monetary terms of the price of labor.
So labor is your rights. That's yours. That's your property. Your labor is your property, so to speak. Even though it's like, I know it's being defined in the tax revenue, code.
But labor, what is labor? If you break down labor, what is the constitution of labor? It's your time and energy, is it not?
I mean, let's see. Let's see what labor time standard means.
Yeah, I just read it. Labor. Oh, this the other one.
Yeah.
You looked up labor. What was the other one we just read?
2 seconds.
Said labor as well, right?
Labor rate standard.
Labor rate. Okay, gotcha. Labor. All right. Labor time standard means a pre-established measure expressing temporal terms of the quantity of labor. So that's all right. Time.
So now you're looking at the quantity of labor being multiplied by the price of labor,
which is expressed in monetary terms of the price of labor. Okay.
Right? So now you need to be given your labor cost, not a paycheck, not compensation, not remuneration. You need to be given your labor cost. And I don't think labor costs should be taxed. It's an inalienable, unalienable right. However, let's do more research to make sure. Labor market. And we're about to, bro, after this, I'll do the invocation out. I just want you to just see it, bro.
Islam labor market means a place where individuals exchange their labor for compensation.
So now you have to exchange your labor, which means it's something you already possess, right? But however, individual, again, is a United States citizen, a United States business, or as Brother R said, an alien owing permanent allegiance to the United States. And they're exchanging their labor for compensation. There's something to really ponder on, guys. Because if it's called income tax, right, then nobody should be getting taxed for punching the clock to be on the fries at McDonald's. No one should be getting taxes taken out of the costs for their labor. It's like, can you imagine I hire you to do something and I'd be like, yeah, man, I know you said this is 100. This is 100 for, for this hour to spend with you. I'm gonna give you 102, but I gotta take taxes out before I like the fuck? Like, no, motherfucker. No, I can't do that. I need to give you what you asked for completely. I can't sit here and be like, well, I gotta take taxes out.
Do these taxes, imposts, and excises?
Like, that's why I said, but this is why this is, how long have you been an agent? Part 3. I'm so serious. Like, yeah, you guys seeing this? All right. Yes, the hospital and the doctor's clinic is an employee. Right? Good Brother Solomon said in his experience with 3 companies, now it comes to abandon the platform or do whatever it is you do. He says, we're not contracting with you. It's been a battle for sure with these CFOs, CPAs, etc. Mother Sahar, happy holy degree to you also. Food does not sustain the body, Mother Sahar said. And we are the universe, as above, so below. Indeed, right? So that's why I was like, yeah, so much for the flat earth, because if you got to have a flat body, Like, what shape is your head? You can't say that R word. You know what I mean? And don't mean ridiculous, because you can say that R word pertaining to your head and your thinking. Can't say that R word that rhymes with sound. Or abound. Let me stop, yo. Or hound. Let me stop. I know I'm just poking fun.
You can't say that R word that rhymes with what? I can't say that M word either. You know what the Moors built.
Oh, bro, I didn't even think of that one. That's classic, bro. That's fucking classic. That is classic, bro.
Were Moors the flat builders? Were Moors the flat builders or the mound builders?
Yeah, definitely mound builders, man. So labor markets are identified and defined by a combination of the following factors. Earth pictures. That's what geography is, right?
Mm-hmm.
Another labor market is education and or technical background required. Also experience required by the job.
By the work tasks.
Right?
Assigned to individuals.
There's one. Licensing. There you go. So much for not being an agent. Soon as you get the license from the state.
Let's get your OSHA certified before we get you on that job site.
Exactly. Now you're a federal agent. Now you're an OSHA agent. OSHA agent. Oh, you want to work on HVAC? Got to get you that CFC, a universal chlorofluorocarbon certification from the state. You think you're doing a trade for HVAC, steam fitting, and plumbing. You're performing functions of public office. Of also means away from, off from, right?
Occupational membership and industry.
That sounds like a citizen. Occupational citizenship. Because the citizen is a member.
And the people giving them the citizenship is occupying our ancestral state.
Look at that.
With their industries.
Look at that.
Charging labor rate standards.
Labor rate standards times the labor time standard.
And then taxing that.
You see what I'm saying? Like, you guys got to make sure this is that, like, a lot of people don't recognize the life that you think you're going to live to be grown. You got to figure out how to do it without being an agent. And you immediately become a federal agent when you get state licensing. Soon as you make the minimum contact of state ID, state driver's license, U.S. national under some Indian tribe, you're a federal agent. Yes, Indians not taxed can be utilized like it is on our nationality cards for the comprehension for those that can only see and think that, well, we can't recognize Moors, we can only recognize Indians. Well, let me let you know something. I'm not a goddamn Indian.
It's a pre-existing principle that was written into the Constitution. Duh. Taxation without representation. Well, they could probably really tax them Indians now since they're representing the shit out of them now.
Ben should have been taxing them. They taxed them with label Indian, and they're taxing them by making sure they have poor water.
Making sure
taking
that they
their property and shit.
Putting them on a certain part of the land, like this is where you're gonna stay at.
Calling it a federal reservation.
Making them think that they have their own little tribal government, but then they're putting, like, sellouts in the lead position. The fucking Indian chief is paler than Casper and shit. Like I mean, is this what's that shit called? It's called assimilation. Is this not assimilation? You're a
Yeah.
colonist. You're a direct descendant of the colonists, and you're the head of the tribal government. Like we could probably pull up any tribal government right now. Somebody could probably say a tribal government in the chat right now, and we probably pull up the chief. As long as it's not one of these fake dirty Moor tribal government, because they think they're all the chief. I just seen someone that shit said shit say, bro. I was laughing when I seen that shit. That shit says Hey, go back. Oh yeah, go back.
It's amazing.
Oh, wait away. Well, man, these dudes wearing their little badges and stuff, thinking that they're some type of Moorish police force. Like, man, stop that shit. Y'all are dumb as fuck.
I got a shiny piece of metal.
They wear it on the hip or they wear it on a necklace.
Oh, that's so cute. Pause.
Yeah.
'Cause I thought only girls wore stuff on their hips like that. Or on a necklace. I'm just saying. Anyway. Just kidding. Sort of. Just goading.
Just being the goat.
Is long.
No cap. The mind has no cap.
Welfare benefit means welfare
Uh-oh.
benefit fund means a trust or organization which receives and accumulates assets to be used either for the payment of post-retirement benefits or for the purchase of such benefits, provided such accumulated assets form a part of the post-retirement benefit plan.
What the fuck? How does food stamps even fall into that?
Well, it's just seeming like what welfare benefit is for post-retirement. So, like when Boom Quisha and them be having food stamps, if it's welfare benefits, right? Then are they saying they've retired?
Yeah, or they're saying that they're getting that for when their retirement comes.
Or are they actively just
Or they're acting as if they're retired. Whoa, that's probably why they want to know. Oh, you make too much. You make too much, you can't get these stamps. What do you mean I make too much? Well, on paper, the numbers don't look like you're retired.
Yeah, Mother Samaya had brought up, like, since, these entities will try to run a background check on that type stuff. She said Equifax Workforce is who you need to call to have the nom de guerre, so to speak, right? Some people would say nom de guerre, or their quote unquote non-statutory person have the information freezed on that, because she was saying that Equifax Workforce is what.
Well, that's one of the 3 credit bureaus, right?
Yeah. Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. So checking the workforce for Equifax and going, hey, freeze, on John Jenkins, freeze that, so that once it's frozen, someplace like the Department of Social Services can't check that and be like, oh, well, you made this, because that's what they're utilizing. So shout out to Mother Samaya sharing that yesterday, right? Right. So with that being said, I just kind of just wanted to just go over that, bro, and just really just kind of.
Thanks for pulling that up. I hadn't seen this one before.
Yeah, shout out to Trading Brigade. He was the one that brought up, this is 48 Code of Federal Regulations 31.001 for definition. So yeah, like him and Malika was sharing some things, and I really brainstormed on it. And I was like, because that's why I was like, I got out of that, Zoom 2:00 in the morning this morning, and then rested and recharged, and then woke up on my woke up like, Did he say he didn't notice the curve of the earth on top of a mountain? I really can't let that one go. Like, bro, you know you're standing on a curvature that you're saying you can't observe. So it's like, are flat earthers blind? Is it like, like how colorblind people don't see certain colors? Do like flat earthers not see certain convex and concave, happenings pertaining to the Earth's surface?
Yeah.
Do they just walk on water? Let me stop.
They got a restaurant out here called Blueberry Hill. They can't even see that motherfucker.
No mountains, no hills can be acknowledged. No spheres, no globes. Right? No heights, no depths.
What's that song? How does that song?
What'd you say?
They can't even sing that song, bro. Ain't no mountain high enough. They can't even sing that shit.
Wow.
Which means you can't watch none of the movies that song was in. That song was in a lot of movies. Matter of fact, a lot of movies got mountains. You can't even watch the movies.
Like when they listen to like early hip hop, they gotta listen to the Sugar Flat Gang.
The Sugar, yeah, they can't listen to Sugar Hill. Right.
Oh my god. Oh my god, bro. Seriously. I'm just saying, guys. Okay, so anyway, let's do our invocation out, man. Let's you know what? I'll just actually go here. Let's do our invocation out, right? Boom shakalaka, right? And come on back if heareth. And I'll be doing the invocation out, guys, and then we can tune into see what Brother Taj is talking about, right? I know we'll have to catch up on the hour or so that we didn't see. However, guys, we're going to extend all 5 appendages on our left hand and just the index and middle appendage on the right, having our feet like Prophet Noble Draw leads there on the 45, facing east, which is symbolic to going within, right? Metaphysically speaking. And you can repeat after me either aloud or in your heart. Islam.
Islam.
Islam. Allah, the Father of the universe.
Allah, the Father of the universe.
Father of love.
Father of love.
Truth.
Truth.
Peace.
Peace.
Freedom.
Freedom.
And justice.
Justice.
Allah is my protector.
Allah is my protector.
My guide.
My guide.
And my salvation.
And my salvation.
By night.
By night.
And by day.
And by day.
Through his holy prophet.
Through his holy prophet.
Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali.
Ameen. So it doesn't seem like we're completely ignoring Consuelo. I'm going to probably answer that with what she was asking about the whole MRI thing. I don't subscribe, or nor would I make a suggestion for anyone to go microwave themselves. What I would say is, even in injuries that I've sustained, if they were small, so to speak, if it's not like a break or something like that, but when you're talking things that may deal with nerves, tendons, muscles, it would probably be best to just do naturopathic things. Maybe you need to get some herbs from a certain apothecary herb distributor, right? Maybe you need to stop blowing your nose on me, puppy. Sit your butt down. Sit down. Sit your butt. Right. And I think that would be actually best. Acupuncture, maybe chiropractor, if you're gonna do those things. Maybe find out some things you can find out online. Maybe you can, I can't believe I'm even saying this, but maybe you're gonna WebMD. If you go to webmd.com or whatever and explain what it is that you're feeling or what you're going through, maybe that will help you also. Get out of there, boy. Right? Sit down. Sit, puppy. Sit that butt. So, maybe that would be best for you. To me, an MRI is basically microwaving yourself. And, you know, Moors have to stop talking like, I'm on a learning curve and everybody learns at a different pace. Please stop that.
Well, they can't say that if they're a flat earther. There's no learning curve. There's no learning curve for a flat earther.
Oh my God.
You gotta get straight to the point with them.
Bro, that was another classic one, bro. There's no learning curve for flat earthers. Yo. And again, I wasn't bringing nothing up about the earth being, you know, curved or not. I'm just saying, did somebody tell me last night they were seeking to observe the curve of an earth that they don't see on a mountain? And it's like, wow, that's profound cognitive dissonance, though. The earth has no curves. And I've observed that it doesn't when I stood on this mountain. What the fuck? Yeah. Wow. All righty. So with that, any other questions, comments, and or suggestions? Questions, comments, and or suggestions? Going once.
Happy Holy Venus degree to all the Moors all over the planet.
Indeed, man. I you know what? We didn't even bring up any astrology, but it's all good, guys. Go and watch the this is why too. Go and watch the 7-day Tropic Medical Astro Weather Report that happened Wednesday. A lot of you got it in your email Thursday morning, right? And go back and look at what we said about today, about Friday. You know what I'm saying? I think Friday was might have been Brother Sean, if I'm not mistaken. Was it Brother Sean at Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Yeah, I know he had Friday and Monday. Saturday, Sunday, and Wednesday, I think, was Brother Jag, if I'm not mistaken. All right. Go and look at that and see what happened today. See how it turned out for you, right? Because respectfully, I remember when Brother R was like, y'all don't miss. Somebody else has said that too, like that we don't miss. But we're just really sharing what we need to share, you know, astrologically speaking. So that's just what that is, just with that. However, yeah, we'll be bringing you guys more astrology at the beginning of our Impromptu Improvs and AstroCivics Sunday, just to, you know, do a triple check, so to speak. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going twice. Questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice.
Oh, I'll make a suggestion. I suggest people go get a Farmer's Almanac.
Islam. Yeah, bro, that's right. You inspired me today too. He was like, yo, I got this joint. I was like, yeah, I need to get my 2023 one because I still got this 2022 one and it's over. 2022 is done. Right. However, guys, we love you all. Enjoy your studies. And this is where we say namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all.